Hello everybody and welcome to my channel. This is Martina and this is Vintage Beauty. Well, after a little bit of off time which I took, I came up with this more than a handful of joy journal. She is a real chunky monkey. She is vintagey. She has vintage aesthetics as well as vintage elements. And I'm so happy to share with you what I did and why I did it, because there are some things to explain. Okay, so let's start. Well, you see, she is big. Not big in terms of these dimensions, but big in terms of the width. And she has been made from 2 vintage books and many other things. So let me start first with showing you around. So this is the view on obviously on the front side, and you see there is a lot of decoration. Then the spine has also been decorated with lace and also a wonderful trim which I have coffee dyed. And the back side I think is also really stunning, because what I did is I have used Indian fabric which I have glued on this vintage book cover. And the book cover itself is brown, the lace is black, and together it forms such a wonderful composition. So I really love the effect. I give you the dimensions first and then we can go into it. So she measures in terms of centimeters 18.5 centimeters. She is 12.5 centimeters wide. And she has a 7 centimeter spine. And, well, this spine is a little bit wider than usual, because I thought I can trick myself, but I couldn't in the end. I thought if I come up with a wider spine, it will prevent me from getting too bulky. But you know what happens when you have more space, you add more things. And this is what happens. So she has in total more than 160 pages and a lot of flips, flip out, flip in, flip everywhere, but you will see. And I have forgotten to tell you the dimensions in terms of inches. Sorry for that. So in inch, this means she is 7¼ long, 5/4 wide, and she comes with a 2¾ spine, inch spine. So, you see, I have layered, probably you can see I have layered different things all together. First of all, I have used this wonderful velvet fabric, which is a upholstery fabric. I have added this frame with a vintage lady and some further decoration. I have made a ruffle from satin. I have added another lace on top. And this is not a fixed decoration. You can flip it. And I said there are many flips. And I have attached it with a bow. And you can easily take it off. And what is important for the future owner, whoever it might be, please, one tip is don't make a knot when you tie the bow, because otherwise it's really a lot of work to undo the knot. If you just start with the 2 parts of the bow like this, then it's easier to open it. So let's open it like this. I have from the back side I have glued on some digital paper and some lace, and this is how the next layer looks from the front. And what you see here is I have used another vintage book cover, which I have also beautified by gluing on this wonderful Indian fabric. And because this book cover was lighter in color than the other one I showed you from the back, of course the appearance is a little bit different. Then I have added a button, which was a gift from a friend of mine, but it fits perfectly. And this button, of course, is also the way how to attach this flip, the front flip. So, and then of course you see I have also added the decorative corners here and also there. And now we can undo this one and you see what is behind, because of course there is something behind, as you might guess. So let's open that. You see also here I have made some decoration with some vintage doilies, some lace, some burlap. So as usual, let's open it. And what you see here is I have done something on the inside of this second flip. And this is a flip up. And of course this flip up is not only, as I guess, pretty, but it has a function because there is a pocket, and in this pocket there is a journaling card, and I have also added this tab to make it easier to take it off. And then we have here a trifold, and I have seen this recently. I have used trifolds already in other journals, but I recently saw it in a really, really wonderful journal, and I would also like to take the opportunity to recommend this one artist. She does most stunning journals. I really love it. Her name is Sarah Lee Armstrong, and she comes from New Zealand, and she really, really does wonderful journals. And she also has these kind of flips, and she had recently added a kind of a trifold, different than mine, of course, because she has a little bit different style than I have. But I thought, oh, that's a good idea, and I can just steal it. So I did. And this is the trifold which I made, and here I have used this part to add this owner's card. And you see I have used really, really pretty digital papers throughout this journal, but not exclusively, because I like to use different things, old ones, new ones, digitals, not digitals, vintage stuff. So it's eclectic by its sense. So, and then you can see, you can also take it like this. Here there is a little pocket, side pocket, with a journaling card in roses, nicely matching this digital. And then there is another side pocket, and inside there is a little journaling card. And also here there is a pocket, and there is a journaling card showing a Victorian lady. I have used also some Victorian aesthetics, vintage aesthetics, Victorian aesthetics, because I like this era, I like the opulence of it, and I hope that I have mirrored it quite well. Now we come to the real body of this journal, and as I said, it has been formed by 2 vintage books. And this vintage book was interesting because I bought it recently on eBay. I got 2 of them. It's from a poet named Camiso. I haven't heard of him, so I googled, and it's amazing what I found out, because this person, born in 1781, was not only a writer, obviously because I bought a book. He was also an explorer. He participated in one excursion around the world in 1807 or so. Plants and also some geographic areas have been named after him. And to my friends in the United States, there are some islands in Alaska, and they are named Chamisso Islands. So I was really impressed, and I have also added some parts of this booklet of the book of him throughout this journal on different areas, because as he was an explorer, I thought maybe the new owner, the future owner, also want to be an explorer. And having said that, of course, this journal is available in my Etsy shop. Well, you see, I have added the decorative corners here. I have added some vintage gold lace. And when we turn it, then what you already see here is one of the first tributes to Camiso. And this is the name, Camiso, and this is the spine. And I have just shortened it a bit in order to make it fit, flattened it out, and turned it into a belly band. It's in perfect shape. I didn't have to do anything, so it's really in a good state state, and therefore I kept it like this. And then I added a journaling card, roses on the front side, and a picture of the guy, of this explorer, of this poet, of this amazing person on the back side. This stems from the book. So now we come to my book, to my journal. This journal has 5 signatures, a lot of lace, a lot of flip outs, and many, many other things. So each of the 5 signatures have been decorated with some pretty digital paper from the front as well as from the backside, and lace, of course. So you see this really, really pretty, Victorian flower bouquet. And when you turn it, then you have another view on flowers, and you have a side pocket. And in this side pocket, there are 2 journaling cards from different digital kits, of course, because, as I said, I like the diversity. And then we have here some lace, which I love, and I have used it recently, and I thought it's so nice because it's transparent and it still gives some opulence. And when you turn it, then you see, and those of you who have seen some of my other videos, I couldn't help it. I also used some of these really, really pretty collector's items, flower pictures, which are roughly 80 years old, and they are still in perfect color. It's amazing. And I have glued it on some cotton fabric, which I had coffee dyed, in order to give it this vintage look, and also did some stamping. This is one of the journaling cards, or longer journaling cards, which I collaged. So there are some of them in this journal, and I like to combine, mixing and matching. As I said, I like to combine different material. And this one is a little bit tricky to put back because you have lace on both ends. So you have to be careful or do it later. This is just decoration. Here this stems from this Victorian flower album booklet which I have and which I use from time to time to cut out some things. Very pretty drawings. Here I did some stenciling. This is part of the lace which I have used for the cover on self-dyed paper. Old music paper decorated with some gold lace trim. This is just a flip, and inside here you see this Lily Elsie. She was an actor, a very famous actor. I think in the beginning of the last century. And here there's another journaling card which I have added because it matched so perfectly the color scheme of this cotton fabric. Some more lace. So I have used different types of lace. I have used newer lace, I have used vintage lace, cotton lace, also other material, and also some sequels. So it's a combination as usual. And now we come to something which I would like also to give it a shout out to, and this is a wonderful channel, a wonderful artist. Her name, or her channel name, is Septeria18, and I'm going to write it down in the notes, because what I did is I got some inspiration from her. She does this, she calls it one size wonder. So she is using a 12 by 12 inch piece of paper, and she makes things out of it. And in the one which I have made after her advice is this one. And so it's a combination of different pockets. So what you see here is a pocket here on this one. You can open it. I have used, for the first time, I have used this Velcros. Inside there is a journaling card. As decoration, I have added one of my self-created butterflies and added this really, really tiny gold-flaked tag, which I did. And when you open it like this, then you see there's another pocket here. And in this pocket, I have added just some nice paper, which you can use for whatever reason. You can either write on it or use it for your own crafting. So it's just there to give some more color and some more ideas. And then we come to this right hand side, and there I have added a bow. By the way, there are many bows in this journal. You can open it like this, and you see there is a pocket here, and in this pocket I have added a journaling card with this really pretty Victorian roses. You can turn it like this. There is another pocket there with a tag. There is a tiny, tiny pocket over here. Inside this tiny pocket there are some tickets like this with some birds. I put it in because of the size, because it nicely fits. And then here you have another pocket with a rose card, and you have something from the book, as I mentioned, and it says chamisos or camisos art Werke making, the first of two books. Okay, so, and I put it back here, and this can be then later closed. And when you turn it like this, then you see I couldn't help it, and you will find it from time to time in this journal. I have added another piece of this wonderful album with these collector items, and this is also written here in German, the explanation. And when you touch the paper, you feel the age. You don't feel the age on this one, but you do feel it here. Coffee dyed paper. So throughout this journal, most of the papers are coffee dyed or dyed in a different way. Cotton lace. This is a little envelope, obviously, which I have stamped and embossed and also decorated with some lace, and there's a velcro and you can open that, and inside it's backed with some old paper, vintage paper or antique paper, and there are 2 journaling cards, small journaling cards. So, music paper, side pocket with a tag. Here, this is what I love to do from time to time. I have bought these lavishly decoration books, and so I take out from time to time, I take out some of the nice pictures, and this is one of those, and it features an old bedroom furniture. It says bedroom furniture, but this looks like a desk, not a bed. Okay, on the back side another tag. Here something, this Japanese paper, this really, really nice Japanese paper in this wonderful pink, which perfectly matches the color over here. You can flip it up, and there is another bedroom scenery from Laura Ashley booklet. Some lace over here, self-dyed paper, side pocket, and in this side pocket another pretty paper, which I mentioned before. Pretty paper, then some paper to write on. And this is also from this original Camiso book, and this is his handwriting, but it's a print, it's not an original, so it comes from the book, but it's nothing which the poet has written himself into the book, so it's just a print. But I think it looks really pretty. It's in German, but I have difficulties to read it because of this type of writing. So we put this back. So this was the first signature of 5. Now we come to number 2, and number 2 starts with this little belt around it, and I have used really, really stunning, I think, stunning wallpaper. It has such a pretty design, and I have a little bit left, so I'm happy to use it here, and I have added some cotton trims. And when you turn it like this, then you see there is a little pocket, and in this pocket there are 2 journaling card and a tag, so which I created myself with decoupage technique. And now we come to the decoration of the second signature, and here I have added some pretty lace on this really pretty green design. On the inside I have used, what I love to use, I have used these lace paper from Bontic Vintage Designs, and I have it in almost all of my journals now since I had discovered it. Here's some craft paper. Here is another of my self-created tags, and this is embossed, and I've used some acrylic paint on this black cardstock, and it's a rose, and it looks like metal, but of course it's not. And here I have used 2 pieces of this album I mentioned before, and I've turned this into a pocket. I've glued it on with some cotton so that it's really flexible, and inside there is another journaling card with a flower. Stamping here in green. Some decoration here, some decoration there, lace. This is another collaged tag which I did, and you can flip it so that you can see this pretty self-dyed paper where I have used some gold speckles and some other color pigments. And here some black lace. So I have used also some black lace in this journal, black and white and off-white, and also some gold. This is washi tape because I wanted to cover up the sewing here. And then here I have created obviously from an envelope, I have created something to tear out. So it's a card which has decoration on two sides, and it looks like this. And it fits perfectly in terms of size, so you have to be a little bit careful. Did some stitching, did some stenciling, and here we have the center spot of this signature, and this is such a pretty picture, and it's in these brown colors, which are well in tune with this theme of this journal. And I have also further decorated it with some vintage lace on both sides. Here you have the image of an old mansion, and this old mansion is glued on some paper which I have stitched around, and behind it there is one of my self-created tags, and you can take it out easily on the ribbon here. Here you have another side pocket, and I have also made a side pocket out of this journaling card so that it's easier and you can make it nice like this. And here there's another pocket and you can take it out. This one here is collaged, so I have used music paper, old paper, and some bits and pieces from other digitals. Here I have made a ruffle from satin. And now we come to a real vintage part. So this stems from a book, from an old book, but not from none of the books which I have used here. But I loved it so much because it also has a little bit of gold shimmer, and also the feel is nice. And you see the age, and you see that apparently the cost were 200, whatever currency. I don't know. It comes from Germany, so I don't know. Definitely not 200 euro. No. So that's from another book. So I've used, as I said, some vintage or antique items. It's some nice angels, little angels, and you can flip it up. And here you have another pocket, and in this pocket there is something you can take out, and this is another journaling card. And you can take it in. And in order to add to the vintage look, I have made these stamps. This is self-dyed paper, stamping in green, a Victorian lady. Now we come to another busy page. First of all, here again I have used two of the flower pictures, and one of those has a little scratch, and I have tried to mend it in a way, but it's old, as I said, it's old and it can have scratches, and therefore I think it's okay to use it in this journal. And I've turned this into a pocket, into two pockets, and again two of my self-created embossed and decoupaged and gold flaked cards, like this. And this one here has a Velcro, you can take it off. Behind it, what you find here is from an old savings book. So that's an old savings book, and a vintage item, so I put it in here. And this is also from this original Camiso book, and it's apparently part of a classic literature edition from which someone called Meyer, this was the company, has issued, and there are in total 150 books. So I kept it in here, and I thought it's nice. And this was the reason why I put it in. This is what has been written on the book by the person who gave this Camiso book to someone else. And it's dated Berlin, Christmas Day, 24th of December, 1900. So I think that's nice. So, and I close it. I liked the idea, so it was just by incidence that I realized I could do it like this. So, okay, this is just some decoration. So, and we are at the end of the second signature. I quickly try to close it so that it's not in the way. So, and you see the third signature starts with a ruffle from blacklace on this really, really pretty digital paper. Inside another nice digital paper. Here I've used some card stenciled on the back. Decoration here. Just to flip, another flip. This flip also is a pocket, and in this pocket there is a Victorian scenery with some flowers. Very tiny. The back side I have used some Renaissance or medieval elements. So it's a mixture, as I said. And here I couldn't help it because I found this, I saw this button in my stash and I thought, oh, the blue is nice. And then I added all the different bits and pieces together and I formed a pin, clip. And I attached this journaling card and it's nice with the blue. And when you turn it here, then you see there is another journaling card behind this Indian trim and some stenciling over there or stamping over there. Yeah, I had a lot to do and it was fun to do it. I really enjoyed it. It was so much fun. And this is then what happens. I cannot stop decorating and have another idea and have another flip and have another, and then it gets bulky. So here there's another thing which I wanted to show you because you see this bow. You can open the bow. And then you see this is decoration, but what you don't see obviously right now is you can flip it like this. On the back side it's stenciled. This is turned into a pocket. And here we have this some information about flowers. I think this is also from some of the, it says Will's cigarettes, so it was a digital, but it apparently is a digital of these collector's book. Cigarette items, cigarette cards. And here this is also a pocket. And inside there is a journaling card with roses. And in order not so that it doesn't flip, I have used this bow and I close it later so you can turn that. This is burlap with some gold polka dots. And here I have also added a collaged tag which I did, and I've also sewn around it and different material, lace and burlap, and also sprayed it so it sits here. Some nice lace over there or trim over there. Another pocket here. And you cannot feel it because you are on the screen. But this is wallpaper and it has really nice touch. And I think the color is really perfect in combination with this very pretty vellum paper. And because of the color scheme, I have added this angel and this one. So, looks like this. Oh, no, rather looks like that. Pretty vellum paper. Self-dyed paper with some lace. Again, another wallpaper. I couldn't help it, so I cut it like this and I turned it into a side pocket, journaling card, and another cut out from this lavishly book. And it also shows some nice decoration. I think it's also in a kind of a Victorian style, and therefore I kept it in this book. I left it or put it into this book, this journal. Again, stenciling. In this center spot, what we have here is a nice view on a castle and turned into two pockets, and inside there are journaling cards. This one has a kind of a fairy tale scenery, and this one is some Victorian angel card. Not original, of course. This one is also backed with some old book paper. So, coffee-dyed paper, another little pocket with two Victorian ladies, this vellum paper, another lace. This is stenciled. Here we have also another tiny pocket and another tiny tag. Very tiny. So, yeah, so this was number 3. We are approaching number 4, and number 4 has a kind of a specialty, namely that I have added this bow and sewn it behind this lace, which I have added on this digital paper, just to play a little bit. This is very old lace. You can feel it, you can see it. It's very, very soft and very delicate. This one is not old lace, but this one is, and you can really feel the difference. So again, this really pretty lace paper, which I like to use. Another pretty vellum paper with this gold. Self-dyed paper. Japanese paper. Another stenciling. And on the back side, in this side pocket, there is a really pretty journaling card. And there is another journaling card. So I use these images of the butterflies from time to time because I really, really love them. This one is more in brown, but you are going to see also another one in more bright colors. And this is the original May coffee-dyed paper. Hello May, which she generously gifted me. It's so pretty, and it's really, really dark, very nice. This is the paper I coffee-dyed. Not as dark, not as pretty, but also okay, I guess. And here I've added some lace. This is another of my self-created tags in this really pretty green. And you can also see the old book paper shining through the decoupage, the napkins. This is again this pretty vellum. Stamping. Another center spot with another scenery. And this is more like an... like a theater stage, and nevertheless I couldn't help it and I turned it into 2 pockets, another journaling card and another journaling card. Stamping here, this is again the vellum, this is some lace. Here I have just pinned on some nice paper because I thought from the color and from the look it would match. Here you have flowers and here you have a kind of a medieval scenery. Yeah. So, decoration, Japanese paper, coffee-dyed paper, vellum, fini. Close it. Now we are already, I couldn't believe it, already at the last signature. So I have used some coffee-dyed pink lace here. On the back side, this really, really pretty Victorian scenery with some nice decoration. I have used this little flip page to form a pocket, to add a pocket, and have 2 journaling cards here. It's also sewn around, as you can see. And then in my stash I found this really, really pretty lace, and because I had the idea already, only after I had already sewn in this journal, this one is glued, it's not sewn, so I glued it on here. And in order to make sure that it really stays in place, I have added this little bow. And when you take it off like this, then you see the look onto this really pretty lady. And this is the Lily Elsie, I think it's her name, I always forget, person that you have seen already on the front, and some stamping. And on the back side, this is a side pocket here, also further decorated with washi tape, and there is a journaling card behind it. Whenever I add some digital paper, very often I don't like the whiteness of the backside, and therefore what I did here is I did some stenciling with green and brown distress oxide or distress ink, and so it's not as, and it nicely matches the colors. So this is also the lace or the trim which I've used to decorate the spine. This is my coffee stenciled paper, and here this is the butterfly I mentioned before, so it comes in a little bit more, it's still in brown, but it has some pink elements, and because of that I gave it a pink side tuck. This is some craft paper, this is some eco dyed paper with some light pattern from leaves and flowers. This is the center spot, which shows some design which resembles a little bit William Morris, so I don't think it's original, but it looks like that. Again, this eco dyed paper. Oh, so I glued it on as a last thing, and here you see this is a pocket, and in this pocket there are 2 longer journaling cards. This is the coffee dyed paper which I did. This is the stenciled paper. Here the last view on this, what I'm so fond of it, of these really pretty flowers. This is a side pocket, and the side pocket has been formed by some trim in this very pretty gold tone, I think. And I have added another bit from this Victorian flower album, because I love the colors. So, and now we are at the end, and also the end, I have to cut this, also the end has something I think special, because not only you can take this off like this, and then you realize, oh, I can even flip it. So this is something where you could put something behind or just play with it. But it's also, this one here is also added with Velcros. So if you don't like it, you can glue something on top of it, or you can use it for different things. But I thought it's a nice idea, and it's the first time that I was using Velcros. So still, after some years of crafting, there is still a lot to learn, and there is a lot of inspiration on YouTube or on any other source. And I'm always very, very happy when someone tells me that they have been inspired by the work I do. So this is a big part of the joy that junk journaling gives me. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I know it's a little bit long as usual, but it's a bigger journal, and I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know, and I hope to see you soon. This was Martina. Bye bye.